Hello, so today I'll quickly cover functions and parameters. So to put simply, this here is a function, static void main. So if I just write static void and give it a name like we do with everything in programming, let's just call it hello function. Then here we have a function. Of course it's empty because there's nothing in here, but we can put code in here. Now there we go, hello world. Now, the reason why you would want to have functions is because you just don't want to put everything in main because it becomes big and clunky. Whereas with functions, you can easily separate it and they're reusable. Now, before I go into anything, void is another keyword that means empty. That'll be relevant in just a little bit. But basically what it means, it executes whatever is in the code, but it doesn't return anything. So that means that if we call this will run, but it will not give us anything back. So if we press play now, nothing will happen because we are not calling our function. But if I write hello function, I will now have hello world. And like I said, it's reusable. That means that I can paste it several times. It's going to run it. Or I can even put it in a for loop and run it like this. And every time it's just going to run it. There we go. So that's one way of using functions. Of course, there is more than just this type of a function, and that's the second type of function that I'm going to show you. So just like this returns nothing, there are ones that return something. So I could have an integer, and let's just call it addition. So yeah, so this will handle a mathematical operation. Now, if we got an error here, which says not all code paths return a value. Now this means that we have to have a return. So what we do is we type return and we turn a value. So for now I'm just going to put 0. That removes the error, and what will return is 0. So here we don't return anything, we just paste whatever is in the code and that's it. We fire it, but with this one, yeah, actually get a return. So let's just make some variables. I'm going to make int number 1 and then int number 2. And here we will have, what I'll add is parameters. So basically, this is a parameter, to put simply, an array of strings as a. So we'll literally do the same. We'll have an integer number A and integer number B. Now, what we'll have here is int result. I'm just going to make it 0 for now. We're going to return the result instead of a 0. And what we're going to change here is we're going to have result being equal to number A plus number B. There we go. So now we have result, number A, number B. And then encode here, well, let's just call both of our functions. So we'll call this. And let's just write a console. Yeah. What we're going to do now is we will call our little addition. So what I'll do here is inside of the right line, we're just going to paste the result from here. So what we'll do is this, and now we're basically calling this like the same thing as if I did it with the other one. It's just I'm doing this inside of the right line. So what do we have here? Now, there is no argument given that corresponds to the required formal parameter. What this means is that basically we need to put the parameters in, because this takes 2 parameters and this doesn't give any right now. So we're just going to put number 1 and then number 2. And that's good enough. Of course, we have an error right now because these are unassigned values. So I'll just give them a value of 5 and 8. And if we press F5, we'll have hello world, and we'll have 13, which is the addition between the 2 numbers. Now, this we can then duplicate and call it subtraction. And to make our little program look nicer, let's just do So let's just do a very simple program where we let user add or take away. I guess let's just call it a very bad calculator. So let's just do the introduction. So console.writeLine. Come on. This is a simple calculator. Please select one of the following options. So let's just do this and then just copy twice. One addition, two subtraction. There we go. And we're going to call the function in here. And then once we do that, we will then make, I don't know, let's just make a static void user input handler. And let's just have an integer here called user input. And to handle a thing, we'll just use a switch case, which we did in one of the previous videos. We'll put user input. Of course, we have to store it somehow. So we'll have user input is equal to in.parse and console.readline. There we go. And we close it. And then we'll have a case one. We're going to break it. Case two, break, and default break, just in case for error tapping. Now, what we'll do here is, inside of these is we will just call, I guess what we could do is int result is equal to addition. And then we will pass in two numbers that we will ask. So let's just do that real quick. Let's just do in, let's add two more variables here. So number one, number two. Now, what we'll do here is number one, well, let's just do console.writeLine, enter your first number, and actually, since we will be duplicating this, since this is just to make this more efficient, we will have static void ask user. Let's just do it like this. Now that I think about it, it's gone a bit weird. Okay, let's just do that. Ask user one. I didn't think this ahead, but there is a better way to do this. And by that I mean more efficient. So what we'll do is ask user one, and then we'll do number one is equal to in.parse. I'm just kind of trying to show how you could do this. There we go, read line. Okay. And then we'll do ask user two is equal to in.parse console.readline. Boom, like this. Oh, I meant number two. And this one's gonna be in here. So there you go. And now I'm just gonna copy this over in to here. And now in here, we're going to pass number one and number two. There we go, like this. I'm just gonna copy this here and to here, but I'm just gonna change from addition to subtraction. And there you go. So we will just put this in here, user input handler. That should be about it, right? So yeah, so let's give it a try. So we press play. Now we get various options. So we have went through this, we ran all of this code, and then now we moved on to here. So the very first step is for us to enter a number. So I'm just going to put a random number for now. So there we go, 5 ends the program because we didn't code anything in. But now let's put 1. And then there we go. It asks us for a first number. So let's just put 8. And then our second number, which is going to be 5. And actually, we are not displaying the result. So console.write line result. Sure. Kind of forgot about this part because we did it in a number before. Oh, that's right. We want. Wait, what? Int subtraction. Oh, that's right. I I was double adding. Wait, is there no subtraction? There is. I'm slightly confused with what I've done. What's the error? Use of unassigned variable. Ah. There we go. Yeah, but I know that's an unassigned variable. But it means fine here. Can you just... Oh, there you go. Oh, same name. That was the problem. There you go. So 1, let's just 8 and 2. That should give us a 10. There you go. Now, one more time. So select second option, we'll have 15 and it'll take away 5, which is going to give us a 10. Perfect. So there you go. That's how you can use functions in with your programming.